with today's session, which is about the herbs, herbal remedies that we are going to learn, which act on the skeletal system. So it is very evident from this beautiful slide that we are going to study the herbs that work on the skeletal system. And the herbs are guggul, which is really the main herb in as far as the musculoskeletal system is concerned, which is called as Commiphora mucul, the Latin name or the scientific name. Then Gandha prasarini, that is the Pederia fetida. Then Devdaru, that is Cedrus deodar. Nirgundi, Vitax nigundo, Rasna, Lucia lanceolata, and Shunti, Gingiber officinale. And these herbs, the composition of these herbs together is it contributes to the herbal supplements, which are Sandhiyog tablet, Pain Mukti MJ tablet, Rasnadi Gugul tablet, and Mahavat Nashak tablet. So today we are going to learn about the musculoskeletal disorders like arthritis, spondylitis, and all kinds of pain, and how we heal those pain with the help of this herbal supplements in Ayushakti, and why the herbal supplements are doing that because of the ingredients or composition of that individual herbs. Now, first thing we now remember, Vat, because Vata dosh is mainly responsible for causing pain in the musculoskeletal system. So everybody please just recollect about Vata dosh, the space and air element, the gunas like Ruksha, which is dry, Laghu, that is light, Shita, that is cold, and very importantly, Chala means mobile, mobility. And Vata dosh is like one who provides stimulus to all the doshas, to all the even activities to keep in balance as well as to create imbalance. So today we will see how these herbs they act on the vata dosh and also the other doshas, but mainly predominantly the vata dosh, and they heal the different kinds of musculoskeletal disorders. Yes, next slide please. Yes, so the skeletal system, again, where Vata dosh is the main who governs the whole skeletal system. Then first herb is Guggulu. Guggul is again a very important herb like Triphala, and it forms most of the compositions, of the musculoskeletal disorders. The Latin name of Guggul is Commiphora mucul, and the English name is Indian Bedelium. So the English name is given so that you can find reference wherever, if you find it. And the Latin name or scientific name is the standard name. Next slide, please. So Guggul, again, Rasa. So in this new year, we will just revise about Rasa. That is the Rasa are of 6 types. That is the original taste of that particular substance. So Rasas are of 6 types. That is the Madhur Ras, which is sweet, Amla, that is sour, Lavan, that is salty, then Katu, that is pungent, then bitter, that is Tikta, and astringent, Kashai. So out of these 6 rasas, there is a predominance of the rasas in every substance. So particularly in Guggulu, the 3 main rasas that are there present, they are bitter, that is Tikta ras, astringent, the Kashaya ras, and pungent, that is the Katu ras. Sometimes the dravyas, the different substances, they act according to the predominant rasa. Sometimes they act according to the virya or potency, sometimes vipak, like that. And in some of the herbs, there is also the prabhav, which is the extraordinary effect of that herb. So here, Guggulu, the virya. Now virya, again, we will revise that virya is the potency. The potency is of basically 2 main types, which is the hot and cold. Out of that, Guggulu has hot potency, that is Ushna. Then the Vipak. So Vipak, what is Vipak? We will just revise that the original taste of the substance when consumed by an individual and when it comes into the contact of the digestive fire, it gets transformed into three different types of rasas. That is the madhur, that is sweet taste, then the amlaras, that is the sour taste, and katu, that is the pungent taste. So here the vipak of Gugulu is pungent, that is katu. Then doshas, regarding the doshas, Gugulu acts on, it reduces all the three doshas. That's why it is very important, because it acts on all the three doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha doshas. And especially it is very effective on Vata dosh. That's why we find it in the formulations basically designed for the Vatash disorders. And Vata disorders means what? Like it is described by Acharya Charak, that there cannot be any pain without Vata dosh. There cannot be any burning sensation, which we call as daha, without Pitta dosh. And there cannot be any swelling without Kapha dosh. So basically, pain is, where there is imbalance of Vata dosh always. Then burning sensation in the body anywhere there is a predominance of the Pitta dosh, and swelling there is a predominance of the Kapha dosh. So in this three, we have to consider these three doshas and likewise plan the healing path. So here Gugulu specially acts on Vata dosh and the pain. Okay. And the other dhatus that it acts predominantly on is Mausa dhatu, Meda dhatu, Asthi dhatu, and Shukra dhatu. So Asthi dhatu and Mausa, Meda, and Shukra. Next slide, please. So the actions of Gugulu, it is very effective for bone and joint health issues. Extremely important. As you know, it has been used since a long time and it really has very good effects. Gugulu, main herb. Then it is useful for rheumatoid arthritis and gout. As basically in rheumatoid arthritis and gout, what is predominantly imbalanced is Vata dosh. That's why we call this as Sandhigata Vat or Vata Rakta or Ama Vat also. So basically what is imbalanced in rheumatoid arthritis and gout is the Vata dosh, and Gugulu acts excellent on the Vata dosh. It creates a balance of the Vata dosh. That it is effective for arthritis, neuralgia, sciatica, facial paralysis, and hemiplegia. Again, if we look at all these disorders like arthritis or neuralgia, sciatica, facial paralysis, hemiplegia, what happens is there is an imbalance of Vata dosh, and basically what is affected in the Vata dosh is the chala quality, that is the mobility of Vata dosh gets affected. Somewhere, the mobility becomes excessively increased out of control, and somewhere the mobility is extremely, reduced or gone. And that is manifested in the form of different kinds of disorders. Like when the mobility is excessively increased, we can call it as a disorder like Parkinson's. Or when the mobility is excessively decreased, what we observe in, paralysis and hemiplegia. So here, the quality of Vata dosh, that is the chala, mobility is affected. So that we have to think again, the rukshata, that is dryness, the laghuta, that is lightness, and shita, that is cold, they are also affected. So Gugulu acts best on that. It reduces edema. Along with this, it also reduces edema and enlargement of glands. So it reduces the enlargement of glands. It is useful for healing fractures. Yes, Gugulu has very good effect whenever we have to, join something. So wherever there is fractures or dislocation, what we are trying to do is put together that Asthi dhatu. And Gugulu has that property to bring two things together and join them. That is healing the fractures. Then it controls the vitiated adipose tissues and lipids. That is the Mausa and Meda dhatu. So Gugulu also acts very good in that because it has the rasas like that. Tikta Kashaya and Katu. So basically, Tikta Kashaya and Katu ras are very good to control the Mausa and Meda dhatu. Next slide, please. Then the Ayushakti supplements that contain Gugulu, they are Sandhiyo, okay. The quantity in milligram is 260 mg, Pain Mukti Sandhi Cal 150 mg, Rasnadi Gugur, 150 mg. Fibron, or it is also called as Granthihar, 167 mg. U-tone, 170 mg, and ketone, 150 mg. And the formulations, they are shown on the slide. So see, Granthihar or Rasnadi Gugur, again, they are very useful, as we will study one by one, all of them. So we'll study that. Next slide, please. Yes, Gandha Prasarini, the Latin name of this herb, and it is shown in the picture. The Latin name is Padaria foetida. English name is skunk wine. I'm sorry if my pronunciations are wrong, but that is, I think, Padaria foetida, and English name is skunk wine. So Gandha Prasarini. You can see in the picture the herb. Next slide, please. So here again, the predominant rasa is bitter, that is tikta, okay. Virya potency is hot, that is ushna. Vipak is pungent, that is katu. Then dosha, regarding the doshas, it reduces all the three doshas, and especially the vat and kapha dosh. So it also reduces all three doshas, and predominantly or especially the vat and kapha dosh. And regarding the dhatus, it works well on the Rakta Dhatu, Asthi Dhatu, and the Shukra Dhatu. So Gandha Prasarini. Next slide, please. So Gandha Prasarini is useful in painful conditions related to vitiation of Vata dosh. It acts very well in reducing the pain. That's why Gandha Prasarini is a very important herb. It reduces the inflammation. Also, it is useful in arthritis, spondylosis, gout, again, all the Vataj disorder. Effective for joint fracture, ligament tear, due to its healing property. It has a property to connect, or bring together the damaged tissues. That's why Gandha Prasarini, the main quality is, just healing the damaged tissues, bringing them together, and then making it joint and together like that. So Gandha Prasarini, this is about Gandha Prasarini. Next slide, please. So the Ayushakti supplements that contain Gandha Prasarini are Sandhiyo, and the quantity is 45 mg. Mahavat Nashak, 15 mg. So basically Sandhiyo and Mahavat Nashak, they contain the herb Gandha Prasarini. Next slide, please. So next herb is Devadaru. The Latin name is Cedrus deodar, and the English name is the Himalayan cedar. Okay, next slide. Devdaru, the rasa is, main rasa is bitter, that is tiktaras. Virya is hot, ushna, potency is hot. Vipak, the transformation of the rasa after digestion, it is pungent or katu. Regarding the doshas, it reduces the vat and kapha doshas mainly. And the dhatus, it is effective on the rasa dhatu, the rakta dhatu, the meda dhatu, and the asthi dhatu. And the picture of the herb is given in this slide. Yes, next slide, please. So regarding the action or the karma of Devdaru, it is very useful in the cases of rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, it reduces water retention, and it also reduces the fats, the adipose tissues, the Meda Dhatu and the Mausa Dhatu. It is basically acting on that. And Devdaru is also very important herb as far as controlling the imbalance of Vata dosh is concerned. So it is very useful to balance the Vata dosh, Devdaru. Next slide, please. So the Ayushakti supplement that contains Devdaru, they are Sandhiyo, which is, the quantity is 40 mg, Rasnadi Gugur 30 mg, and Mahavat Nashak 15 mg. Next slide, please. Now we move towards Nirgundi. Again, Nirgundi has been used. The leaves of Nirgundi are even used to control the imbalance of Vata dosh. Again, a very important herb as far as the imbalance of Vata dosh is concerned. It's very effective to correct the imbalance of Vata dosh. So Latin name is Vitex negundo and English name is five-leaved chest tree. So that is Nirgundi. Next slide, please. So the rasa, the main rasas are bitter, that is tikta, pungent, that is katu, astringent, that is kashaya. Potency or virya is hot or ushna. Vipak is pungent or katu. The dosha, it reduces the vata and kapha doshas. And regarding the dhatus, it is effective on the rakta dhatu, the meda dhatu, and asti dhatu. So Nirgundi, again, very useful to reduce the vata and kapha doshas. Next slide, please. Yes. So Nirgundi, again, it is a very good pain reliever in vata disorders of the bones. Again, we have studied about, asti dhatu, correlation of asti dhatu and vata dosh. They are related. And it is useful for osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and gout. It reduces the inflammation, especially in the joints. Next slide, please. Nirgundi, the Ayushakti supplements that contain Nirgundi, they are Pain Mukti MJ, 50 mg, Sandhi Yog, 60 mg. So Pain Mukti MJ and Sandhi Yog. Basically, they contain Nirgundi. Next slide, please. Then again, very, very important herb, Rasna. Rasna is the foremost herb as far as, again, the Vatahar aspect is concerned. That is, balancing the Vata dosh is concerned. Rasna is the best, and that is described by Acharya Charak in the Agrya Sangraha, that Rasna is the best regarding the Vatahar action. Vatahar means what? To balance the Vata dosh or to correct the movement of Vata dosh. Rasna is the best herb. So the Latin name is Lucia lanceolata and English name is Lesser Gallenga. Yes, next. The rasa, the main rasa is bitter, that is tikta. The potency or virya is hot or ushna. Vipak is pungent, that is katu. And regarding the doshas, it reduces the vat and kapha dosh also. Dhatu, regarding the dhatu, it acts excellently on the asti dhatu, very effective on the asti dhatu. Next slide, please. I hope all of you remember the 7 dhatus and the 3 doshas and all the things that we have studied, the 5 types of vata dosh, 5 types of pitta dosh, 5 types of kapha dosh, and everything. So Rasna, the action, it is effective in pain predominant conditions of vata dosh, useful in cellulitis, it reduces the inflammatory conditions, and it is very, very useful in rheumatoid arthritis and gout. As I told you, Rasna is the best herb to balance the vata dosh, and as the rheumatoid arthritis and gout are mainly the vata disorders. And that's why, because of the vata dosh getting imbalanced, that is the main characteristic feature, which is pain in these conditions, as well as in any vata disorder or the musculoskeletal disorder. One thing is main, which is the pain. Next slide, please. So the Ayushakti supplements that contain Rasna are Sandhi Yog, and the quantity is 60 mg, Pain Mukti MJ, 100 mg, and Mahavat Nashak, the quantity of Rasna is 30 mg, and Rasna Dikugur, that is 30 mg. Next slide, please. Shunti, again, some herbs are like, the essence we can call the gist of the healing paths, and Shunti is like one of them. It is a very good herb as far as the digestion of that armor is concerned. And as all of you know that we use this herb in Ayushakti. Most of the times we use it, Shunti. The Latin name is Gingiber officinale and English name is ginger. So Shunti is excellent whenever the pachan is concerned, that is the digestion of the arm dosh or removal of toxins is concerned. So Shunti is the best. Next slide, please. Why it is best? Because it contains the rasa, that is pungent, katu. The potency of virya is hot. And there is a thing, there is the dry ginger. So virya of dry ginger is not so hot. Okay. Vipak is sweet or madhur. Doshas, it reduces the vat and kapha dosh. And regarding the dhatus, it acts effectively on the asthi dhatu. So in all the degenerative disorders or all the disorders of vata dosh, wherever we need, there is a formation of armor. So there are two events whenever any condition of vata disorder is taking place. One is the aggravation of the vata dosh, and second is the formation of arm. And this armor dosh, when it gets lodged in the joints, and then it is manifested in the form of different kinds of disorders like osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, gout, and so on. And again, there is the aggravation of the vata dosh also. So Shunthi takes care of that, both aspects, and mainly that armor, okay, digestion of that arm which is lodged in the joints. Next slide, please. So the actions of Shunthi are, it ignites the Jatharagni. It is a very good deepener. It has very good deepen quality. Shunthi, deepen means what? There is a digestive fire. And whenever the digestive fire gets low, then there are different kinds of disorders, which is called in Sanskrit as Rogaha Sarve Api Mande Agno. This is Sanskrit verse, which says that all kinds of disorders are formed in the body when the digestive fire goes low. This is a very important principle. And Shunti is very important. Why? Because it stimulates the digestive fire, and as well as it is pachan. Pachan means what? It helps to remove the digestion of the doshas, or removal of the armor. So Deepan, that is stimulating the digestive fire, as well as pachan, which is the removal of arm. And it also improves the appetite. Again, regulates the movements of vata dosh, useful in the distension of abdomen, effective in rheumatoid arthritis. So Shunti is actually, again, the best and foremost drug, that is herb, that is explained by Acharya Charak, especially in rheumatoid arthritis. Shunti. Next slide, please. So the Ayushakti supplement that contains Shunti, they are Mahavatnashak, and the quantity is 41 mg. Sandhi Yog, the quantity is 36 mg. And Pain Mukti MJ, the quantity is 25 mg. Next slide, please. Now see, we have studied just now the different single herbs. Now these herbs, they form this herbal supplement. They are the ingredients in this herbal supplements. And now we will study the herbal supplement as a whole. So because of the herbs that it contains, these herbal supplements, how they act, that we will study. Next slide, please. So first, Sandhi Yoga. Okay. So Sandhi Yoga, as we know, here in the first column, there are the Sanskrit name of the herbs. The second column contains the Latin name, or we call it as scientific name. And the third column, there is the quantity of these herbs in milligrams. So first, Shuddha Guggulu. Now we have studied Guggulu. So Guggulu is present in Sandhiyo, the Latin name Commiphora mucul, and quantity is 260 mg. Then second is Devdaru. Again, Guggulu, Devdaru, they are best as far as the Vata dosh is concerned. Then Devdaru Ghana. We use Devdaru in the form of Ghana. I hope everybody till now knows what is Ghana. Ghana is the extract form, which makes that particular supplement even more effective, because we are using it in the form of extract. Then the Latin name is Citrus Devdar. Quantity is 40 mg. Gandha Prasarini Ghana. Again, it's used in the form of extract, Ghana. Pedaria foetida. The quantity is 45 mg. Nirgundi Ghana. Vitex Negundo, 60 mg. Rasna Ghana. Lucia lanceolata, 60 mg. Atibala Ghana. Abutilon indicum, 45 mg. Gokshur Ghana, that is Tribulus terrestris, 44 mg. Shunthi, that is Gingiber officinale, 36 mg. And Haritaki, Terminalia chebula, that is 46 mg. So if we look at the herbs, all these herbs, they are useful to correct the correct the imbalance of vata dosh, as well as to strengthen the joints and muscles. So sandhi means the different kinds of joints. So the this herbs as a whole, the combination of these herbs, and again used in the form of extract. So sandhi yog, it is very good herbal supplement to strengthen the joint as well as to correct the imbalance of vata dosh. We will study it in the next slide. Next slide. Yes. So indications of Sandhi Yoga, where to use it. It is to be used in arthritis, spondylosis, slip disc, swelling on feet, and gout. So in Ayushakti, everyone, we have been using this Sandhi Yoga, and it really has very good effects because of the, again, the combination of herbs that it contains. So all these conditions, Sandhi Yoga has really very good effect. Next slide, please. So property as a whole, if we calculate the potency of the herbs as a whole on an average, we can say that Sandhiyog is of hot property. And the dose in adults is 1 tablet twice daily. And in children, it is half tablet twice daily. Contraindications are not to be used in pregnancy. So Sandhiyog, this is about Sandhiyog tablet. Next slide, please. So here we will understand about Sandhi Yoga even more with this case study of arthritis. So here was a client, Shashikant, a male client. He was 62 years young. So he was suffering from the knee pain since 2 years. So it was quite chronic. And he also had the sciatica pain in left leg for 1 year. So actually the patients of knee pain or sciatica or arthritis, the main thing when they come to us in the clinics is that they're really very irritated, and because of the dependence factor, because they have to depend on others, for doing the daily course, because pain really makes the life it creates, makes the life worse. And this was the same case with this client. He was not very happy because he was suffering from this pain for 2 years, and there was also the sciatica pain in left leg for 1 year, and he was having difficulty in walking and sitting also. So because of, he was not able to do his daily course also. So when he came to Ayushakti, we saw that in his case the vata dosh was really imbalanced, and we examined him and formed a healing path, by using the herbal supplements. Mainly Sandhi Yoga was used along with the other herbal supplements also, but Sandhi Yoga was mainly used. And there was also the detox that was done for him, customized, and the diet plan that was advised, taking into consideration the imbalance of the vata dosh. And it was affecting his profession also, and his daily activities. So but after taking this treatment, the results after 2 months, he had 70% improvement. The knee pain reduced a lot, the sciatica pain also reduced, and the movements were pain free. So again, dependence in arthritis or in any Vatas disorder, what makes the condition worse is the dependence. That's why the physical and mental both aspects are affected. So it is really very essential to provide, quick relief to the clients, like in arthritis or something, whenever there is pain. So Sandhi Yoga really does that because of the combination of herbs that it contains. So same we observed in his case, that such a chronic pain, so he got good improvement in 2 months. His knee pain was reduced, which was very essential because again, it was making his life worse, and the sciatica pain also reduced. So yes, this Sandhi Yoga tablet and all the healing path, it provided really good relief in this client. Next slide, please. Next is Pain Mukti MJ. So Pain Mukti, pain is, and Mukti means freedom. So freedom from pain, like that word is suggests what it does. And MJ means muscles and joints. So Sanskrit name, the herbs that it contains are Nirgundi Ghana. Again, Nirgundi is used in the extract form. Then the Latin name is Vitax negundo. Quantity is 50 mg. Shallaki Ghana, Boswellia serrata, 100 mg. Rasna Ghana, Lucia lanceolata, 100 mg. Punarnava Ghana, Borevia diffusa, 40 mg. And Shunti, that is Gingiber officinalis, that is 25 mg. Again, pain mukti MJ is very essential in cases of pain, and not only in pain, but because of like the herbs that it contains, like Rasna, Punarnava, Shunti, Shallakia, and Nirgundi. It also helps to remove the arm from the muscles and joints. So pain mukti is not only healing the pain, but it is healing the pain by removing the arm that is lodged in the joints, and thereby it reduces the pain and inflammation, everything. So pain mukti MJ, and again because of shallaki mainly, it helps in doing removal of arm and healing the pain. Next slide please. So indications of pain mukti MJ, where to use it, as painful health disorders due to vata dosh. So again, sciatica. In sciatica, we know the pain is again of different nature, radiating pain. So pain mukti MJ is really helpful. Rheumatic arthritis, then arthritis, dysmenorrhea, sinus ulcer, and fistula. So pain mukti MJ provides relief in all this. How it provides relief? By again healing the pain as well as removal of arm, and helping to reduce the vata aggravation as well as the removal of arm. Next slide, please. So overall property of pain mukti MJ is hot. Then the dose is in adults 2 tablets twice daily, and in children 1 tablet twice daily. Contraindications we have not observed till now. So there are none contraindications. So this is about pain mukti MJ. Next slide, please. Yes. So with this case study, we will understand pain mukti MJ even better. So this is a case of this female client of 52 years. So she was suffering from spondylitis when she came to us. And actually her symptoms were like really very chronic. So she had back and neck pain for 9 years and heaviness in the body. So whenever there is armor in the body, the first symptom is heaviness. So she was having a lot of armor. That's why there was heaviness in the body, and she was also having this pain and quite chronic. And because of that, there was restricted movements due to the pain. Against the dependence factor. Dependence factor is very common in all kinds of vata disorders. So we have to provide quite quick relief. So she came to us. We examined her pulse and everything, and according to the findings, we found that again the vata dosh was imbalanced, and there was the formation of arm was quite there. So uh, we advised her to follow the customized detox plan and diet plan and the herbal supplements. Mainly there was pain mukti MJ along with the other herbs. So we found that after 1 month she had 70% improvement. So see, in this chronic condition, it was quite chronic, but in 1 month she had 70% improvement. Again, if we work on the case, on the client, taking into consideration what is the pathology, and first to avoid the causative factors which is causing that, that is to follow the right kind of diet and lifestyle, then to focus on what is imbalanced, which dosh is imbalanced, which dhatu is affected, which mala is affected, like that, and then to design a plan according to again the constitution, the state, the symptoms, and everything. So she had 70% improvement in just 1 month, and there was no neck pain, and the back pain also reduced a lot. She felt light and energetic, and again in her case the movements were like a person who was 20 years young, because she was able to move freely, which because of the earlier armadosh she was not able to do that. So her movements are also became free, and she became quite happy. So yes, a very good case study. Next slide please. Yes, and this was a research, this is a research paper on pain mukti MJ that is published in this journal IMJ. You can see it on the slide. So This research is also published regarding the activity of the effect of Pain Mukti MJ in pain, in healing the pain. Next slide, please. So the analgesic and anti-inflammatory effect of Pain Mukti MJ was published. Then Rasna the Guggur. Again, I told you, see, Rasna is also very good, which acts on the Vata dosh, and Guggulu is also very good. That's why the combination of Rasna the Guggur is excellent in all kinds of Vata disorders. So here we see that Rasnadi Guggur contains Guduchi Ghana, Erandamur. Erandamur is castor. Castor oil that we know, that is Eranda actually. So we use Erandamur, that is roots. Then Devadaru. Just now we studied the herb. Shunthi, very important, Shunthi. Gingiber officinale and Rasna. Lucia lanceolata, and the quantity is 30 mg for each one of them. So Rasnadi Guggur is also extremely effective in healing the inflammation, the pain, the stiffness, specifically the stiffness of the muscles and joints. Next slide, please. Yes, that's why indications of Rasnadi Guggur are pain and stiffness. So wherever we find, see, when we assess or observe different kinds of clients of Vata disorders, there are different manifestations or presentations. Some have pain, some have stiffness, like that. So Rasnadi Guggur is effective in both pain as well as stiffness. Then sciatica, frozen shoulder, rheumatoid arthritis, and arthritis of all kinds. Next slide, please. Then the property overall of Rasnadi Guggur, it is hot in property. The dose in adults is 2 tablets twice daily, and in children it is 1 tablet twice daily. Contraindications are not observed till now, therefore none. Yes. Next slide, please. So yes, with this case study of frozen shoulder, we will understand Rasnadi Guggur even more. Again, so there was this client, Anahita, female client of 54 years. So she was suffering from frozen shoulder and back and neck pain for 6 years. Again, quite chronic. Frozen shoulder affects if the person is not able to move the hand. So she was suffering from the same, and there were stiff joints and painful movements also. So it was affecting again her entire life, physically, mentally also. When she came to us, we observed the symptoms and the pulse and everything, and we made a healing path which contained customized detox plan. Detox was very essential. So whenever Vata disorders are concerned, doing detox is very useful. So, and diet plan, herbal supplements, including Rasnadi Guggur. Main was Rasnadi Guggur along with some other supplements. So we observed that with this whole healing path, after 3 months, she had a 90% improvement. So in a quite chronic condition, it was really a quick relief. That is 90% improvement in 3 months. She no longer had a stiff shoulder, less back pain, and better movements were there of her shoulder. She was able to do her daily work by herself. The dependence was reduced. Yes, so this is again for case study that shows us that if we use the herbs, if we use the principles, we apply the different principles and then formulate a healing path, we can really get very good results, which is, in her case, 90% improvement in 3 months. Next slide, please. So next is Mahavat Nashak. The Sanskrit name of the herbs that it contains is Gokshur Ghana. Latin name is Tribulus terrestris. Quantity is 77 mg. Shunthi, Gingiber officinale 41 mg. Rasna Ghana, Lucia lanceolata 30 mg. Gandha Prasarini Ghana. Gandha Prasarini just now we studied. That's very useful to heal pain. 15 mg. And Devdaru Ghana, that is Cedrus Devdar, 15 mg. So Gokshur, Shunthi, Rasna, Gandha Prasarini, and Devdaru. That forms the Mahavat Nashak. Again, if we look at the name of this supplement, Mahavata Nashak, means wherever there is an imbalance, excessive imbalance of Vata dosh is there, then we use Mahavat Nashak. Okay. in chronic conditions. Next slide, please. Yes, that's why Mahavatnashak is used in severe and chronic pain. So wherever there is the pain is chronic and more severe, there we use Mahavatnashak. Sciatica, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, and spondylosis. Okay. Next slide, please. So Mahavatnashak, where to use it? It is to be used in severe and chronic pain conditions. Pain Mukti MJ also we use, but when we find that in some clients, the pain is quite chronic and severe, then we use Mahavatnashak. The overall property of Mahavatnashak is hot, the average property of combined herbs. The dose in adults is 1 tablet twice daily, and in children, it is half tablet twice daily. Contraindications are there for this, so just remember wherever there are contraindications, you must first remember that. So in case of hyperacidity, hemorrhoids, and pregnancy, we do not recommend to use Mahavatnashak. So that's why whenever we are assessing the clients, it is very important to take a detailed history. So we should always take a detailed history. Suppose someone is having hemorrhoids, so we should not use Mahavatnashak. Hyperacidity, not Mahavatnashak is not to be used because the overall property is hot. That's why. Next slide, please. So this case study of rheumatoid arthritis of this client, Rupa, 50 years, young. So her symptoms were severe pain in all joints for 2 years, quite a chronic condition, especially in her knee, ankle, wrist, and elbow joint. So she was suffering from this quite chronic and severe pain right now, what we saw, and painful movements and needing assistance to perform daily functions. The dependence factor. Remember the dependence factor in all kinds of Vata disorder. And so we designed a healing path for her, looking at her condition, examining her pulse and everything. The detox plan was advised and diet plan. And the herbal supplements, here we used Mahavatnashak because her pain was severe and chronic. That's why. So results were that after 2 months, she had 60% improvement. There was increased mobility in the elbows and wrists. The knee and ankle joint pain reduced, and she could perform all her activities. The dependence factor was gone. So this is a case study of this client where Mahavatnashak has wonderfully worked and reduced her dependence and made her happy. Next slide, please. Yes, so we come towards the end of this session. So the challenge activities will be explained by Cornelia. Before that, I want to say that it's been a year. I think we started in last January, and this January, so it's been a year. And I want to thank all of you because of all of you, this whole journey of this 1 year, I have learned so much, and it has added life to my journey. It has added a newer perspective in the way I explain things. And actually, I have learned so many things from all of you. And today I want to say it because I mean it, that I love all of you. You have been, I think, the one factor which brings a wide smile to my face. And I have learned so much from you, the enthusiasm, the liveliness. And because of your enthusiasm and because of your presence, it was possible for us. And it gives me, more inspiration to work even more harder. So thank you very much and wish you a very happy new year. Thank you.
Yeah, I thank you, Dr. Kamal, first of all, for this amazing presentation again, and then also for your kind words. And just to repeat, oh, my camera is off. The last slide here, the challenge activity. I guess you all know by now what to do. It's again using one of the herbs and test it either on yourself or on one of your clients, and then report in your path group. So again, Dr. Hemang, how do you want to proceed? Should we just go right into the people who have raised their hands?
Yes, absolutely. Very exciting.
Okay. Marie, you were the first one. You were very quick. So you go ahead, and then Anna.
Thank you. Dr. Kommel, thank you for this beautiful lesson again. I like the way that you do not only give us the knowledge about the herbs, the remedies, but also the enthusiasm. And when we talk to our clients, I always think of you and they say, what does Dr. Kamal says about this? What I try to learn them is that the remedies are not only herbs, they are in fact your friends. You have friends you go fishing with and you have friends you go to the movie, and those herbs are friends to help you on your path to your health. Thank you. Am I allowed to say that Sandiok was one of my first remedies, is a contraindication at pregnancy because the baby skeleton is still in building. Is that correct?
Yeah, partially, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Some of the
Thank
ingredients
you.
in the Sandiyo are hot property. So even if it is required to be given with carefully means maybe the half dosage and maybe with the high dosage of Pulkasid Chandrikaras Pitsaman that can take care of the heat that generates or produce from these hot ingredients. So
thank you, because you as my mentor, helping ladies to get pregnant, I learned that the higher pita is the main cause of losing the embryo, right?
yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
That's true.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
Good
Kommel. Thank
question.
you, Dr.
Very good.
Heyman. Thank you.
Anna, and then Jane.
Thank you, Dr. Kamal. And I have two questions. In the slides, when you are talking about the quantity of each herb in grams, I would like to ask if it is per tablet, the quantity that it's there in
Yes,
each herb.
it
It's
is per tablet.
Okay, thank you. And the other is the challenge activity with one herbal remedy. It's not easy because usually people don't take only one. So to do the challenge activity with trying one herbal remedy, it's not easy because usually it's not only one herbal remedy. So I'm looking how, because we
Good question.
gave a combination of different herbal remedies. Also I'm taking a combination of, so
How to
if
manage?
I'm MG, but I take others also. So how do I know that is Painmukti or it is another one? And also for the patient, so it's not so easy to think about that.
Number one, to complete the answer to your first question, yes, the ingredients are listed in the slide per tablet. But I like to add here that it's not that only these ingredients are there in that medicine. Here, we are mentioning only the main with the highest quantity. So whichever the ingredients with the higher amount, those only 3 to 5 ingredients we are mentioning for particular remedy. Maybe if you look at the Insandi Yog actual formulation, you will see 20 types of ingredients inside. Number 2 question, answer to. Yes, normally we encourage to give full combination of the remedies according to the condition. But sometimes it's difficult to convince the client or family or friend or anyone for the whole combination. Then you can give one of them. You can give at least one of them, like to take this, to take this. If someone is there and just early stage of arthritis, maybe you can give just Sandhi Yoga. Maybe many of you are aware about the classical Ayurvedic remedies. Classical Ayurvedic remedies means the remedies formulations, those are mentioned in the scriptures. Maybe some of you have heard the name like Maha Yogaraj Google and Maha Rasnadi Google. These two, Maha Yogaraj and Maha Rasnadi, are most commonly used for the Vata disorder, pain disorder. Sandhi Yoga is a combination of these two classical formulation. Is not exact, but the most near to, close to, the most of important ingredients we have taken it in this Sandhi Yoga. So in the early stage of arthritis, just Sandhi Yoga is enough. Sandhi Yoga is helping for correction of Vata metabolism. So correction of whatever the imbalance in the Vata, correction in the increase or decrease. Vitiation, correction in the Vata, mainly for Vata, where Pain Mukti MJ, if you look at the ingredients, are more focused and useful for helping to reduce stiffness, swelling, pain, because most of the pain is because of either stiffness or swelling, inflammation. If ingredients are reducing, if they reduce the stiffness, swelling, inflammation, automatically pain goes. So definitely we encourage to give if the client is a specific coming with the proper treatment, then to give everything together. But challenge activity is something you just try with one of medicine if possible. So it's not about to see that and prove anything evidently that it works or not, like it's a pain mukti or Sandhi Yoga, or it's definitely it's always together. Good, nice, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Jane and then Ilka.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Kamal, Dr. Rahman. Happy New Year, everyone. So I noticed that all the combinations that we looked at, they're all hot. Okay, so as a pretty much very out of balance Vata person with a Pitta base, you know, I mean, you prescribe these, but why are they all so hot, and how does that balance? I mean, I understand the Vata aspect, but with the Pitta, you know, is there a fine line there? It doesn't affect it that much, but there's a lot of heat, it seems like, in all of these combinations that we talked about. I guess that wasn't a clear question. Why are they all so hot, and how does that not throw out my Pitta imbalance even more?
Because why it is hot, because we studied that, you know, the qualities of Vata dosh, Tatra Ruksha Laghu Shita. So cold, Vata dosh is cold in nature. And to balance that, opposite of that, it is hot property. So we use it. But yes, your question is when it is Pitta disorders, how we do that. So we do that by a concept called Anupan. Whenever we are using that, first we want to heal the pain, right? So if we are using Mahavatnashak, there is a very important thing that we give Mahavatnashak along with cow's ghee. That is always we recommend. So that, you know, even if it is a pitta constitution person, that hotness will not lead to burning sensation or something. That's why the concept of anupan, which is to give, something like a warm water. Like I'm just giving examples of anupan, like giving cows ghee, sometimes warm water, sometimes honey with the supplements. So that takes care of whatever you are asking, is the heat will not be increased in that person. So first we focus what is the main concern. So main concern is to reduce pain. So we will be giving Mahavatnashak, but we will be giving it along with cow's ghee. So we'll balance it with some herbs which will not increase the heat. So like that we use it.
Okay, thank you.
And
Yes.
also, if there is a possibility that maybe person can have the some complications, then we add or we ask to take additionally as a gulka seed, because that will help to like not to generate heat or acidity or something. Most common complaint is heat. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Ilke, and then Satu.
Hello, it's so good to see you all again in this new year. Thank you, Dr. Komal, and thank you, Dr. Hemang. I have a pretty similar question regarding all the remedies we learned and which are mostly hot. But just a few of them have this contraindication with acidity, pregnancy, and most of them has none of it. Why? Is there a difference in the hotness and the heat?
Yeah, that is because of the formulation designing. Some of the taken care by adding the contraindicatory antidote in the formulation and in some not. So that's the reason, like some of are safe even with the acidity or pregnancy can be taken.
Okay, thank you. That's good to know. Thanks.
Yes.
Okay, am I on?
Yes, please.
Thank you. I have several questions. First of all, gulka seed, is that ayurseed?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And another question about ginger, shunti. It says on the slides that dry ginger is not so hot. But what I've learned so far is the opposite, that the fresh ginger is not so hot, but the dry ginger is hotter. Is that correct or not?
We have just given that dry ginger is not so hot because what we are using, the dry ginger powder, that does not increase the heat. That was our intention to put forward that. If we use that dry ginger, the aspect that we are right now talking about heat, no, so that it will not increase. That's why that is given. So we don't need to get into the details, but for from that aspect to not increase the heat, we have just mentioned it. Okay.
So no, I fully didn't understand. Sorry. So dry ginger in general.
Yeah.
Is it more heating than the fresh ginger?
No, it is given it is less heating than the fresh ginger, just given in the slide. Sir, would you like to comment, Dr. Hemang, sir?
Yeah. So again, here, yes, in general, you can take it as your understanding is correct, like they are hot property, correct? But as I mentioned that we balance it with a couple of other ingredients while taking it in the formulation. So we balance it. It is like if we ginger use in our asthala formulation, then it works differently than here. When we ginger use also in the pitta disorder, where it works differently, because ginger is one of the ingredient helping to balance, rectifying the agni, fire. That is useful everywhere. Wherever we want to work on the ama digestion, agni up, fire up, we need ginger. But we take care by balancing, by adding something else together, so it won't be harmful. If you look at the separately, individually ginger, it's different. In the formulation, it works different.
Yes, of course, I understand that. But just my question concerned the ginger itself, but it's
Yes.
okay. Thank you. A couple of more
Yeah.
that came to my mind during the session. It was mentioned about, Dr. Kamal said, I don't remember exact words, of course not, but it would be interesting to learn while we study these herbs, how to find out which dosha is polluting which dhatu. Because as Dr. Kamal said, that is something that we should know in order to choose the right herb for the client.
So
So
here, when we are talking about this vata disorder, most of these like a supplements are useful when the asthi dhatu is polluted by vata, vitiated vata.
right.
So that you have two possibility to understand. One is a pulse, VAT. If we check and we find VAT pulse, Vat pulse, then we understand there is a asthi dhatu is polluted by vata. Or else through the history from the patient, client, we can understand the same thing. Right now, we are considering that we are talking only about asthi dhatu. So we have all the discussion about asthi dhatu pollution.
Right.
So all the herbs are focused to that.
Yeah.
But that
Even though
pulse help.
the adipose tissue was mentioned a few times.
Yeah, but it
There-
is, see, directly or indirectly, all 7 dhatus are connected.
Yes,
It is
of
not
course.
separate, but most importantly, focus. Definitely, it's not that only one dhatu, but it's together everything.
Yes. One more.
Yeah,
Yes.
whatever you are saying, we are going to learn that when we study the disorders as a whole. When we will studying differently about osteoarthritis, we will see. I understand your concern, how to understand the state of the
Yes,
dosha. So that we are going to
exactly.
study when we study the disorders. Okay.
Okay, will we do that during this year? Because I looked at the calendar and it was all about herbs. And I was wondering whether we're going to study those things during this second year or
Third year.
third year.
This is in
Okay,
the third year.
okay, thank you. And then one more, if you may, please. It would be also nice to understand, like you said, Dr. Hemang, about the Sunday oak, for example, that in early stage of arthritis, it's good to use. So it would be nice to know with all these other herbs as well, that at which stage of the disease it is the most useful.
Yes. So
Because
normally,
like Dr. Smita talked about the different stages of the disease in her Pulse webinar, and that came to my mind that it would be great to know more precise at which stage of the disease the certain herb is most
I was
useful.
supposed to talk at the end as a conclusion, but maybe it's also right time when you ask the question. Normally, whenever any person, any client is coming with any type of the pain, stiffness, whether it's in the joints, bones, muscles, nerves, we can always recommend Pain Mukti MJ. M means muscles, J means joints. Pain Mukti MJ. This unique formulation that we have prepared that works on all the different conditions and can be used safely in all the different situations. Any vata disorder, any pain, arthritis, frozen shoulder, or rheumatoid arthritis, sciatica pain, spondylitis, whether neck pain, back pain, any joints, elbow pain, finger pain, toe pain, heel pain, any stiffness, any inflammation, as a single, even as a single supplements, if you want to try and see, you can give this. When you see that here in this person, Vata, Vata, metabolism is disturbed. Vata de-arrangement is there. VAT pulse is highly, you can see. Then it's not only the pain and stiffness, but some degenerative changes are happening. In that condition, it converts towards the in the beginning, early stage, or in the further stage of arthritis, osteoporosis, osteopenia, degenerative changes where you need to nourish, rejuvenate, support to the joints, bones, improve the bones quality. Then you can think about giving pain mukti sandhi kel, that we will see in the later next session. These two supplements are mostly covered everything. When you see the person has a problem with more stiffness, blocked, Vata is unable to move up and down, morning stiffness. Many times people are coming with severe back pain, where there is a feeling of catching the back, holding the back. Give the Rasnadi Google. Additionally to first one, that pain mukti MJ is a fix to everyone. Top on that, add on that to give Rasnadi Google. When you see that the person is having a very chronic pain condition, severe pain condition, acute pain condition, mostly that happens in the rheumatoid arthritis, rheumatism, where person is many of the people are taking the very high allopathic medications, high power, sometimes even cortisones, steroids, or many different methotrexate and polytrex and all. You can think about Maha Vat Nasak. Maybe the person is complaining about the swelling, extra inflammation, edema on the feet, the water retention. You see, when by any chance, if you have a possibility to check their feet or leg or knee, you see the really big amount of inflammation. You can think about giving the U-ton, or sometimes it's known as a Uriton. So whatever I'm talking is addition to the basic prescription. If you think that the person is having some problem with the nerve compression because of some vertebra problem, sometimes some people have a problem, nerve compression in the neck, cervical part, C5, C6, and because of that is a numbness, tingling sensation in the arms. Sometimes some people have numbness or tingling sensation in the leg because of some nerve compression is happening in the lower back, means some lower part of the vertebra somewhere in the L4, L5, S1. You may have heard this type of terminology people are coming with. In that situation, we can think about adding additional as a meta boost. Su Hruday. This is how we prepare the whole prescription, what we see. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much for
You're
this great explanation.
Thank you. Good.
Okay, then we have Moshe and then Susie.
Happy New Year. Thank you, Dr. Hemang. Thank you, Dr. Kamali. Thank you, Cornelia. So my question kind of continues with this. So first, I want to actually ask the question of when a patient takes that many herbs, like if they're taking 15 different herbs, do they have do they like interact with one another? Because like, you know, we know in like allopathic medicine, when you're taking different medication, they can have interactions with one another. Are the herbs the same way and like the same way they react to one another or not?
Wonderful questions. Good question to know. Everyone. Normally, while preparing the prescription, we take care and we know the ingredients of each one as a Vaidya. And we select and we give the dosage accordingly, what can be given and how to balance. Normally, no. No side effects, no contraindications, no internal drug interaction adverse effect. I have a lady living in New York, 82 years, taking 68 tablets in the morning and 92 tablets in the evening after dinner. And that is from last many years. And I don't know, I'm not claiming that just because of that, but also she has a very wonderful lifestyle. Still she is visiting to the fitness center regularly, very spiritual heart, good habit of food. And whenever she visits to her regular doctors and they ask her to do whatever you are doing, you are absolutely fit according to the medical reports. So we consider that is a big certificate that it's not creating any trouble for her and having a good lifestyle, a good life, still working every day, 7 hours. Still she is working as an employee job. Full fitness.
She totally beat me on that one. I thought I was taking 45 in the morning and 52 in the evening. I thought I had the highest.
People are there. Yeah. Yeah.
So
maybe
I have
if there's someone from the New York, maybe they have seen her. She lives there from many years.
So I have another question. So if they don't have like swelling in the legs and that not an issue, but they have like body stiffness and like pain, and they're already taking Pain Mukti MJ, Pain Mukti Sandical, Resnagdi Google, Sandy Yoga, and MetaBoost. What else do you recommend? And then they're like the doshas that is out of balance is the Pitta and Vata. What else there to be added to that concussion?
So normally this is enough. This should help in the normal situation, but sometimes we need to add Niramay. That we will talk later, not now, but just when you ask this specific question, because sometimes it's a not only the muscles, joints, or bones, some nerves are also involved. In the some specific conditions, then we need to add niramay. So niramay will help them if you can.
Okay, and that will help with the more like because there is more increased of like stiffness in the morning.
Yeah.
So that will help with that, correct?
Yeah. Well,
Okay, perfect. Thanks,
good.
Dr. Hill. Thank you.
Nice.
Then we have Susie and then Arati.
Hello, good morning. Cornelia, did you get my text on WhatsApp?
I don't quite know which of the slides you want to see, but I can
Yeah,
share.
well, the slide with that particular herb, it's usually the last slide, which shows the bottle. That's the
Is
one.
that
Thank
what
you.
you want? Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. Yep, that's the one I wanted. Thank you. And my next question is, I wrote it in the chat at the very top, so I wouldn't forget. Can you take Google by itself like you can Trafala? And if so, how much?
Sorry. What's the question, please? Can you please repeat?
Okay. Can you take Google by itself like you can Trafala?
Yeah.
And if so, how much? And why would you do that out of curiosity, if you could?
No. So, good question. Good question. So maybe I can give an example of Trifla. Trifla itself, single, as an individual, can be taken as a medication. But it has a limited effect. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it works, sometimes not. So similarly here, alone, Google can be taken if you wish. It's not only Google, but many of these supplements, many of these ingredients can be taken alone. But then you need to manage and to decide based on the weight and condition and how much to give and how many times to divide the dosage and all. That's complicated all to calculate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So then my next question, because I mean, Western medicine really doesn't really know how to take care of neuropathy. And there's, in my understanding, there's 3 different ways of getting neuropathy. The one that I'm familiar with is the diabetic neuropathy. The other 2, I have a less understanding because Western medicine doesn't really understand. They do, but they don't, right? With describing some of the herbs that you were talking about today, and unfortunately, because they're foreign words, I'm not going to remember them. I'm sorry. It's a little hard for me to remember all the names. But some of the things that you were describing, like it's affecting the spine and how, with inflammation causing pressure on certain nerves, which would cause the tingling sensations in the arms and the feet based on that. But I was thinking of Google myself when I asked that question about neuropathy, but there were other herbs that came afterwards that specifically talked about that. If somebody has neuropathy, how effective can the treatment be with some of these herbs that we talked about today?
Yeah, we deal and we help neuropathy very effectively.
Okay.
And there's many of herbs, many of supplements. So normally we and with Surudai, Meta Boost. If required, we give Niramay. Even if it is not enough, then we have one more as Naujivan. In addition to this, we have this Panchkarma detox treatment like a Kati Dhara, Kati Bhakti, spinal Dhara. That many different things, many different possibility depending on the case to case. But as a general thumb rule, we can start with Surudai, Meta Boost. You know all.
Okay. All right. Well, that was really helpful because, well, I'm just going to let it at that. And the last thing that I would like to say, Dr. Hemang, because I got an opportunity to travel with Dr. Neetu, one of the things that I observed listening to the conversation, because most of the time I was doing paperwork, so I didn't get to sit in with clients. But this was really interesting to me. I don't know how many people, the first thing after reading the pulse, Dr. Neetu would say, do you have diabetes, or do you have cholesterol, or, you know, it didn't matter. And they would say no. And then very beautifully and politely and loving, then she would start asking questions and then address what they were concerned about. And that just blew me away, because what I'm hearing is that it's showing up in the pulse first before it's becoming a physical manifestation. So how can you explain that to someone in a way that they would say, oh, then maybe I need to take care of it now before I actually get it? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. Here I will answer this question because it's the other topic. More on will talk or else about the pulse. Right now,
Okay.
I'll talk more about the sort. I can tell you that people have bunch of problems, but the different. What is the most important for them? What is the purpose? They have vision. They may have the other concerns. They have conditions, but not as a main visit that particular day Vaidya. So maybe we always go with the references priority. We will decide, we will talk more in the detail while talking about how to find from our side and the disease wise.
All right, because like I can use myself as an example, since I have stage 4 Epstein-Barr virus. Now, like in my 20s, if I had come to see you, I had slight fatigue. I was incredibly in good shape. I had very little body fat. I was very active. I was running, lifting weights, doing aerobics. My physical body was incredibly strong. Okay, but I would have pain in the space in between my two hips, where the spinal cord comes down and then where the hip joints join in, right there. And I had no explanation for it. So that was the beginning stage of stage 3 for Epstein-Barr. So if I had addressed my issue at that time, and I would have never come to you because I was healthy. But the kapha was starting, I mean, looking at what I've, looking through my pulses, not my pulse, but looking through my life as to when things started going out of balance. Like the Vata Pitta, very clear where the imbalance was for me. I'm like, it's very clear. But the kapha imbalance, which is, and the Vata balance, was so minute. It didn't stop me from, I would have had no reason to come to you unless I had had knowledge of this. But in that early stage, what I want to ask, if I had come anyways, because I was part of, somebody, the family, whatever, knowing about this, could this have been addressed to the point where I would have never experienced what I'm experiencing now, if perchance I would have listened if it came up in my pulse? But I don't have a problem with that. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm like, I would have never come back until now when I'm so sick. Okay, there's no, I can't hear you at all now.
About this in the pulse.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry. It's very pressing on my mind because, like I said,
just keep not at this point. When we talk about the pulse or this condition.
Okay. Just out of, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have, thank you, Susie. Then we have Arati and then Sanjay.
So hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Dr. Hemang, Dr. Komal, Cornelia, and everybody here in the group. I have two questions for today from the class that we had just heard. The first one was where we were talking about pain mukti MJ, and I heard the term sinus ulcer, and I didn't know what that is. That's the first question. Where it said that the pain mukti is helpful against sinus ulcer. So what am I supposed to understand? Is that meant as sinusitis, or is this an ulcer? Because in the sinus, I've never heard of an ulcer, but is that a pimple or something, or for something of that type, or?
It's more about maybe some, it's like when the pain is there.
Pain in the sinuses?
Yeah.
So sinusitis.
Yeah.
Okay, I know it as that term. Okay, so that was my first question. Then second question is fibromyalgia. People that have fibromyalgia, that's a real tough one. And where does that fall into? It is considered somewhere as a brain/nerve damage in the brain, or chemicals going differently in the brain and so on. So it doesn't fall into rheumatoid arthritis or anything of that type, but would that go like more towards Niramai, or would that be this Mahavata Schnack? Sorry. There is a little disturbance in the sound. Sorry.
It is immune.
Autoimmune.
So it is, we need to add immune.
Oh, okay, so something like ojas or something like that, is that right? Okay, so you would add ojas, and then would that go more like in towards the Mahavata?
Yes, for sure.
Shak? Yeah,
Sure.
and then plus, would that go with plus Niramai plus
Yeah,
or something like that, or?
depending on the stage of fibromyalgia. If it is advanced, then we need to, or sometimes supplements also possible.
Okay.
With few, and if required.
Yeah, in many arthritic conditions, there's also autoimmune involved. So
Yes.
yeah.
That's why to use ojas, or depending upon the conditions, like if there is difficulty in the sleep memory, also in fibromyalgia, to use the formulations.
Okay, so ojas in combination.
Yes.
Okay. Great. All right. So that were my main two questions. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Amrati. Then let's go to Sanjay and then Anka.
Happy New Year. Hello, Dr. Hemong, Dr. Koma. So this question is about acute pain versus chronic pain. I know that we had talked about here, we're concentrating more on chronic pain and inflammation. Question comes up is, which of these formulations would be helpful in acute pain, let's say with trauma, or acute worsening after some medical condition, infection? And then people always like to know, which one can I take to have the fastest relief? Any thoughts on that?
Pain Mukti MJ. In all condition, every condition, acute, chronic, severity, fast, it fits to each and every situation and condition. Sometimes it works just with the minimum dosage, like 2 + 2. Sometimes we may need to give 4 tablets 3 or 4 times a day. Total 16 tablets per day. 4 tablets 4 times a day. In the situation or condition severity. So in all different acute, chronic, severe, fast, Pain Mukti MJ fits perfectly.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Anka. And then
Hello,
Lisa.
everybody. Happy New Year. I understood that these medicines that we have been taught tonight, they act very much on the bone metabolism in general. So they are effective, for example, in osteoporosis, which is a decreased bone density. And my question is, do they act also in the opposite condition, for example, in osteoma or osteophytes, where there is an increased bone density and there are deposits of bone in the joints? Usually these go together with osteoarthritis. So are they effective?
Yeah. Yes. So in that situation, if there is a more visible osteophytes develop, then we need to give ureton separately. Otherwise, just most of the formulations are prepared or designed such a way so they take care the normal basic condition.
Oh, okay.
Some of the anti-inflammatory ingredients are in each formulation. But when it is a more specific condition, then we need to give additional.
Okay, and last question for osteosarcoma, which is a cancer of the bone. Can we use this also, these medicines?
Yes, we can, along with Prati Sakti and Granthihar. Prati Sakti, that is anti-cancer, and Granthihar, that melts the growth, unwanted growth, fibron. Granthihar means fibron, maybe it's known as. So to be taken along with the supplements from this anti-vata. So anti-vata, anti-growth, anti-cancer, all three together to give.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you, Lisa, and then Helene.
There we go. Hello, everyone. My question is, I have a client that I've been working with for several months, probably over close to 6 months. And she's had pain nonstop for that whole entire time. And her pain is in the liver area, kind of like in this zone here. And we're thinking it's nerve pain. She's been on the herbs. She's been on Brain 2, Gas Mukti, Livtone, Navjivan, and Toxigo is the last set of herbs that she's on. And most recently, she had results from live blood cell microscopy stating that there's definitely some emotions in the blood. And so we've been working on that. And but there's not been, honestly, she's had no results. Very, 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 very little with everything that we've done. And I'm at a loss. In fact, Dr. Ashwini was going to have a conversation with Dr. Smita because we're like, we don't know what to do anymore. Any suggestions?
Two things. First, if she is not recommended for forgive and forget Marma, please recommend this forgive and forget Marma.
Yeah.
And second, by the chance, if she lives close to or can visit Marma.
Oh, hang on, you froze. So I didn't hear that last part.
If you know how to do Pechoti Marma.
No, I don't know that one.
Yeah. So it's a body alignment. When there
Okay.
is some blockages in the body, in the system, then this happens. Just by doing one Pechoti Marma, you'll get the circulation flow and then should be all right. So two things, forgive and forget, and this Pechoti Marma. That's it.
Because she doesn't show her emotions very easily. And so I'm trying to work with her on that to try to
No
get her
need.
to.
No, just ask her to do this, explain her to do this Marma point.
Okay,
Forgive and
that
forget.
I can do.
That's it.
And the Pechoti Marma?
Pechoti Marma, that is to be done by you on her body, on physical. So she needs to visit you, or either you need to visit her, plus and then can be done. So that I don't know if you have a possibility to watch the videos or something that we have done.
Is that the video from India?
Yeah, video from India.
Okay, I'll check on that one. I'll see her on Thursday so I can do that beforehand. Okay, anything else to add on that or?
No, medicine wise, all perfect.
Okay. Okay, my second and last question is deteriorating eyesight. So the herb that starts with the letter D, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. That's the right one, yeah. For myself, is there anything that I need to add to, because every time I go, seems my eyesight's getting worse and worse and worse. I'm like, that should not be happening. It should be improving.
Need to know. Many different possibilities are there. What is the reason? It's just numbers. It's glaucoma. It's a macular degenerative changes. Is a lens problem. What is the problem? Accordingly, we can give you exact recommendation that can helpful. Otherwise, it just trial and error. We need to understand exact diagnosis. Why it's happening? What is the reason?
Okay, so I'll have to maybe work with Dr. Sweeney on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Lisa. So Helene, and then we have another question from Marie and from Susie. Okay, Helene, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Dr. Kamal. Hello, Dr. Hemang. I was just wondering because those herbs is like Little Magician, they have, I was watching the Rasa and the Vipaka, and some of them, the Rasa and Vipaka would actually augment the Vata. And they still are the best or very good to diminish the Vata. So I was just wondering if there is any logical explanation or if that's part
Example,
of
which herb?
I'm not really sure, but as far as I remember, the Google, it was like
Yes, yes. Actually, some herbs, as I told you, they act according to the rasa. Initially, in this starting of the session, I told you, some act according to the virya, some act according to the prabhav. So sometimes, even if the rasas are like that, sometimes the herbs acts by the virya also. So like that. That's why the action is there like that. So it is not always in accordance with the rasa, so it will balance vata or like that. But sometimes the action is according to the virya or according to the prabhav like that. Okay. Get the
okay,
answer?
okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, Marie, you're next, and then Susie.
Thank you. I want to thank Lady Arati for mentioning the sinus ulcer. And standing at the picture from Pain Mukti, MJ, I really want to say, I can say something about that. Pain Mukti, MJ and Sandikal were one of my first remedies when I came to Dr. Hemang with the complaints of pain in the bones, the joints. And after some time, you forget where you started because those remedies really helped. But one thing I am really coping with, especially this whole year, was the sinuses who were getting worse and worse and worse. And I can understand that sinus ulcer because we know that when you have a chronic inflammation going on, it leads to exhaustion of the tissues and the cell division will be disturbed. So I started again without knowing this point of sinus problems that it also is related to MJ with the Drushti where of course zinc is in that remedy. And after 1.5 years, starting with Ayushakti herbals, I can see that all of a sudden the eyes get better. So we really have to play with them and look what is helping and why is it just being so chronical, because I really thought I would lost my eyesight of my left eye, and the pressure into those sinuses were becoming so hard that I thought my head will explode. And it is a combination of your herbals and of course the other keys. One of the things that is helping me is taking care of enough warmth during sleep. And then you say, do you sleep in ice? No, no, no. But now I learned the difference between not feeling cold and saying, my, this is comfortable. So thank you, Arati, for paying extra attention for that line. As I can really say, sinusitis reacts on pain mukti and yay. In my case, in the combination with Drushti Fadak. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. Okay, Susie, and then we still have Niharika.
All right, so this is not a question, but Dr. Hemang was a bit humble in his explanation of the forgiveness marma and the potency of it, because I've had chronic pain since 2013. And when I started doing the forgiveness marma 2 years ago, and I did it, a lot, and then on and off, and then I would do it a lot again. And then when I physically got to see Dr. Hemang in December of 2021, He did my pulse, and immediately one of the first things that he said is that you've had a trauma in your life that is blocking you and creating limitations in your life so that you can't move forward, something along those lines. And I said, but Dr. Hemang, I've been doing this for a year, this Marma point, and I don't feel anything. I don't feel any sensitivity there, nothing. And he goes, you have a double block. Please continue to do that, and it will release eventually. I'm like, there's no timeline on it. It's when it's time, it's time. So I actually have a date because I woke up August 15th of 2022, pain-free. And right now I'm still not taking any supplements, nothing. And I'm still pain-free. And when I had pain last year when I was working, I used the Pain Mukti MJ. I didn't have to take Motrin, ibuprofen. I didn't have to take anything. Some days I had to take 2 in the morning, 2 at lunch, and 2 in the evening, but I would have no pain as my only other herb that I was taking. So for people that have chronic pain, not to give up. I've had the Epstein-Barr since I was probably somewhere in grade school. Stage 2 of Epstein-Barr for me was mono at 17. I'm 56. And I had an emotional block because there was an emotion and a way of believing about the world and myself and how I interacted with people that was since in my body, in my mind, in my spirit, in my soul, and my emotional body, my nervous system, since I was 5. It's taken me this long to get rid of it. And I was aware of it before it came out of my body. I've been working on this issue for years. So that's all I would like to say, because you just can't give up on yourself. I'm a stubborn German. I'm a hard nut. And it softened. And guess what? It popped out. Woohoo!
Perfect. It's a strong determination also. Wonderful sharing. Nice. Thank you. Never to give up.
Okay, we have one more, Niharika.
Hello, everybody. Dr. Hemang, when you talked about Pechoti marma, do I say it right? There is a powder, you use it when you have that marma, but I mean, who has it? Can we use, for example, like Freedom Cream there when we try to do it, or does it has to be that powder you use it?
Yeah. Good question. So yes, normally there is a marma powder to use, but in that this situation when you don't have, you can still work with the mixture of dry ginger powder and ajwain together equal amount. And yes, after the Pachuti, at the last, we need this Pain Mukti cream, Freedom Balm, Freedom Sukanti cream, all the different type of the creams. Any of them, it's perfect. Okay, it's nothing something we need this only. It can be this or that. Good.
Okay, so yeah, Lisa Marian came back. So Lisa, you have another question?
Yeah, one quick clarification. So with the Pachoti Marma, is it true? Are we allowed to use that? Like if I watch the video and learn how to do it, am I allowed to do it?
Yeah, if you think that you can do it, do it.
Okay.
If you
I just thought there was
yes,
something specific about that one.
yeah, if you think that it is possible to do for you, you watch it again and again, again and again. It's good.
Okay,
like
good.
yeah, just not to harm anyone, but yeah, if you do it carefully, definitely it will be helpful.
Mhm. Okay, I do a lot of body work with clients anyway, so I just thought I'd check
Anyway,
on
you
that.
know many things, the anatomy and all. So when you know the body things inside, then nothing to worry. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's the questions for today. So now I probably can go over to our exciting topic of our trip to India, Dr. Hemang.
Yes. We are very excited to welcome you all again. Many of you again and many of first time. Yes.
So it seems
Maybe
we have
first questions and then
Yeah.
we can tell something. Yeah, please.
Okay, Anka first and then Radu.
I want to know where will be the teaching week taking place, in which location? Will it be the
Mumbai.
same as last year?
Same. Mumbai.
In that resort, in that
Yeah, 99% the same venue, the same resort, 90%. Yeah.
okay, and the Panchakarma for people who are also taking Panchakarma. Last year, Panchakarma was in a hotel in the Bike Deluat Hotel. This year, where will it be?
Good question. So, yeah, let me keep this question point pending. Let me come answer to this question later. Yeah, is it okay?
Yeah. Yes, it's okay. In the email we received, it was written that there are only a few spots left for the Malat Clinic Mumbai, and the others are for Goa.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
idea was if I can follow both Panchakarma and the teaching in the same time, I mean, at least that week. But if they are in different locations, obviously it's not possible.
Yeah.
So I needed to know in advance to make a decisions. I need to know where.
I will answer this just after all the questions, and then again you can ask the questions if your question is not answered properly.
Okay, thank you.
You can come back again. Yeah.
Okay, Radu.
Hello, Dr. Hemang. I would like to ask, I don't know if it's possible to find out if the Indian visa could be taken right in the airport in Mumbai when arrived. So instead of just running around here and taking the visa, because it's a little bit complicated for me.
Yeah, I think it is not also easy for this, like arrival on visa on arrival. Okay, it's better to complete the process before catching the flight and all, because I remember there was one person coming for the Panchkarma and had some challenge. After the long 1 day process, they completed everything, but it was very complicated. They were about to deport him, but somehow thing went finally, yeah, clear. But I don't recommend to take that kind of the risk. But still, if you have the like a embassy saying like a country to country, the different rules also, because some country have like a friendly relation with India, then they say, okay, you don't need a visa, come straight. You don't need this, you can come like this. Like when we go to the Nepal, example, normally people need a visa, but when we go from India, we don't need a visa. We go there and on arrival, we just show them our passport and they give us entry. But in other situations, they need a visa. So somewhere there is a different political relations and rules. So better to go accordingly. Country to country rules are different.
Thank you very much. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say Radu should check out for online sources. So normally I think, all apply for the e-visa, which is an online visa.
Yes, I used to do this, but now it's a little bit more complicated as I have a foreign passport. I don't have a Romanian one, and that will make things a little bit more complicated to start.
By any
procedure
chance, while
from my
applying for
place.
visa, online visa, if you need any details to fill up, you need any number or email ID or address, you can always use our numbers and email IDs. And let us know, because those people are always calling us to confirm. Embassy always call and ask us, did you, like, you have someone to come from this country and that, and they ask the name, then we should be aware that yes. So if something you have required, definitely you can use either my number or Rupa or Kamlesh, one of us, and let us know that you have filled up our number.
Thank you very much. I'll see what I can do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Radu, and the next Deborah, and then Joseph.
Thank you, not only for the class, but for answering these questions. I was curious about what we would do if we come in early to go to Dr. Smita's clinic. Is there possibilities for students that are coming early to, I don't know, have, this will be my first time, so I have no idea what to expect. So the hotel stay or whatever, how is that going to work if we're going to come in early for her pulse clinic?
Yeah. Normally her clinic was on the actual plan wise, actual yearly calendar wise on 25th of March. But then we moved it on the 1st of April. So maybe like be there for more practical experience, observation, to see the more than 100 different pulse. So some of you who were there in the last year for education week, and then afterwards for the Panchkarma, they got an opportunity, they had an opportunity to be there. Like you are sitting with her in the clinic, besides her, when she checking the pulse and then you checking the pulse. But not all, if suppose the 20 of us are there as a participant, we all 20 cannot be inside cabin together. We need to divide a couple of hours among us. And then other can be outside the cabin or the lobby and can have more practice. And to see that, how it, the pulse, different pulse. We all doctors will be there, will also tell you and explain you what is the pulse and how to see what exactly you're supposed to, you're looking for. Regarding the normally, according to our schedule, original schedule and actual for the education week, that starts from April 3rd, morning 9 o'clock to April 9 until evening 7 o'clock. So normally we all have a like a check-in possibility on April 2nd from 1 o'clock onwards. 1 o'clock, 1 afternoon, 1 p.m. But before that, means if you want to attend this Dr. Smita's clinic, that is on 1st of April, and for that you need to check in, arrive here either a first morning, latest. So maybe you can arrive on 31st or 1st somewhere. So in that situation, maybe we need to organize the 2 days accommodation somewhere. And once we will have the clarity how many of us are planning and will be there, accordingly, we will ask the venue for the budget, what the cost, and then we will let you know that this is the price, that's actual, we will forward you. So that we will come to know later once we will have complete exit numbers available. Normally, we will have the education week finish on 9th of April evening, 7 o'clock. Then on 10th morning, we will have checkout. After breakfast, we will have checkout. People who are going back, living directly from education week, there will be a facility for drop to airport as per their flight timings. And otherwise, like people who have like a booked Panch Karma, we will move them to the respective place. And we'll start the treatment from the same day itself, 10th of April. And then onwards, according to your plan, program, you will have the treatment every day, depending on your chosen package. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so very much. The last question is, if you're scheduling the Panchakarma, do you schedule to leave the last day of your Panchakarma or the day after?
Sorry, say again.
So if I'm having Panchakarma after the first week, so it starts the 10th, and I did 10 days, so it'll be done the 20th. Do I plan to fly out the 20th or plan to fly out the 11th? I mean, the 21st.
So actually you can fly like on 19th night as well, if you wish.
Okay.
Treatment will finish on 19th, 10th day, 10 days treatment. So you finish, you're starting from 10th. Then you count the days exactly, according to your package.
Thank you, that's very helpful.
Okay, Deborah, and you are now, Joseph is next, sorry. And then Afsena.
So my question was like about the Earth Vita. I think the Earth Vita, we have to fill it up every time we get into India, right?
I think yes.
So if you can have like a link, like if anyone like has the link for it, like on WhatsApp, that would be great. So we can just kind of, you know, get it filled.
If any of us can anyone help?
I guess I'll drop the question on WhatsApp.
Yeah, you put the message, so if someone has that link will be helpful. Otherwise, I'll ask Rupa to search and to drop it somewhere too. Yeah.
Okay, and I guess I was like, my other question was in line with Deborah Ann, which is like, comment, Air Civita was recently seized. Okay, maybe we don't have to do it.
No, Air Suvida is again applied from
Is
this
like
a new variant coming from like a running in the China already. So it's applied again from last week. It was not there, but now again it started. But it's see, every time it is changing the rule. So now April is too far.
Yeah.
It's nothing something like we can say that it remains the consistent. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
they didn't
brought
even
it
look
back
at it
because of China.
Sorry?
They brought it back because of the situation in China.
Exactly. Just last they announced that. I got also a message that now it's again like applied. In between there was lifted rule, but again it is there.
Okay, and the other question, I mean, I guess I had been just trying to decide if I should come in the morning, early in the morning on the same day when Dr. Smita is having the the clinic, or the day before. How many hours is the Dr. Smita clinic going to be? Is it like a full day or is it like 2 to 3 hours?
No, it's a full day. Normally, she will start around 11 o'clock in the morning and then finish around 9 o'clock in the evening, normally.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit
Okay,
here and there.
So it's 10 hours. Wow. Okay. All right. Cool.
Approximate. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm guessing with people like with the Panchakarma will be moved. There will be a bus from, you know, like from the place from the resort to the Panchakarma clinic, right? Okay. So no need to book like any flight or anything.
What to book? Sorry.
From like if it's in Goa, if the Panchakarma is in Goa.
No, I will
Okay.
come to answer. I'm coming to that point later.
Okay, awesome. Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Afsina and then Satu.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year. Just 2 questions. What is it when we apply for a visa and they ask the reason for the visit? What do we say? What do we write? Please.
I think normally you can mention about tourist or attending conference, workshops, or something you are coming for this education workshop as well. And you can show them this is our brochure that you have already that you can submit and attach it if, as an evidence support.
And when they say, sorry.
Yeah.
When they say what address you will stay.
Yeah, address, you can give the Ayush Shakti address.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Satu. Thank you. Is it now 100% sure that this education week will take place?
Interesting question. We'll come to know.
When? Because booking the flights is a big question now.
Yeah. I'm coming to that point. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anka and then Jan.
The message for this education week was sent on the 14th of December. So it's quite a short time. And we had Christmas and New Year in between. And then we received another announcement that this is the last day we should make a decision. It is too early to make a decision, so please reconsider this date, because as far as I can see, many things are not known. So how can we make a decision if we don't know essential things? Will Rupa be in charge of things so we can email to her directly, exactly like last year?
Yeah. It's the same like last year, always, everything. And for anything, you always can write to education@ayushshakti.com, 1-point contact for any questions or concerns or to ask anything. And automatically the email goes to the concerned people always.
Okay, and last question, in the email we received, it was written that we can take, if we want Panchakarma, before or after the global week. If I want to take it before, I mean, is it possible or no? Is it known or not?
Yeah, good question.
Okay.
So it's depending on the availability. If availability accommodation, yes, it is possible. If not, then to change the plan. So you can write your like your preference dates to education@ayushshakti.com, and then Rupa will answer about this. If she will check accommodation availability and then she will reply. Yes.
Okay, Jan.
Well, I'm planning on going. I bought my ticket and I'm ready to go. So I'm actually thinking ahead, and I'm thinking I don't want to fall asleep during Dr. Smitta's pulse clinic because it's a 12-hour difference. So is there something for jet lag?
Good question. Yeah, we will post the jet lag formula in the group later. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was already posted, but we will do it again.
Okay. Thank
Good,
you.
good. Appreciate. Helpful for everyone.
Okay, Marie.
Yes, please. I have a question. I was gifted the flight and the stay so I can come to India. But the client is also already a patient from Ayurshakti, and she has the recommendation from Dr. Smita to do Panchakarma. Is there place? Because I don't want to disappoint someone who is helping me. We will depart the 31st of April, so I can be at the lesson of the 1st of April. And we decided by having to work to leave at the 14th of April. Will she be able to do this Panchakarma?
So
in those 2 weeks.
Okay. The answer is about this availability is just write an email with your dates from this date to this date and how many people and whatever it is, which type of the package. Just write an email to education@ayushakti.com. Mail will go to the Rupa. Rupa will check calendar availability and Rupa will answer.
Okay, otherwise we can't book. And is there a vaccination for COVID needed? Because I'm not vaccinated.
So far not.
So far. Okay, so I will have to write very soon because we want to book. And yeah, I want my client patient to have it the way she wants, or yeah, a good way. I don't want to disappoint her. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Kamal, Dr. Hemang, before we go further, I would actually like to suggest that we kind of use the travel group that we had from last year, so we can keep out all the questions that pertain to travel to India out of the normal thread of the 3-year pass group, because otherwise it gets very confusing.
Yeah.
And if people are not going, then there's too much there, so why not keep it there? So whoever is not in there, if you could let me know, and then I can add you to the group.
Perfect. Yeah, once it's a good idea. Like last time, it was very easy communication and very focused. So very helpful for people, everyone. So once we will have the final list of visiting people to India, we can form the group. And yes, even we have not achieved the minimum desired number, minimum required number, as it is we need as 40. We haven't achieved it, but still we are very positive. We have a strong intention and we are very firm that we will achieve it. Even it is today is the last date, as it's mentioned in the PDF form, that 7th January. We need to confirm to the venue and then we can do further process.
So maybe
So far, we have total registration until now, until this moment, because I received 2 registration information just during the call. So if I count them as well, everything together, so far, we have 24 people. We believe that we will achieve this number and we will have the very memorable experience. Many of us still, like I mentioned, that they are in the process. They are working on that, the registration process there, and we hope that we will receive.
I just wanted to say I did communicate with Rupa about dates for Panchakarma before the class, the education class, and she said pretty much in Malad everything was booked.
Yeah.
And so.
Yes. Yes, Mari, your registration is there. Mary, yes. Yeah. So regarding Panchkarma, we have had plan 2 possibilities, 2 options. One, Malad Ayush Shakti, like based on the availability, and then other choice was Goa. But somehow, due to some difficulties, some challenges, Goa is not possible. Somehow, Goa is the property is not possible. Goa, their difficulty. So we now again looking for Mumbai only. Now, what I have received the information updates from Rupa, Malad is full. Normally, before before education week, as well as the after education week. But couple of us book the detox package only for 10 days. So maybe after 10 days, the space is available at Ayush Shakti Malad Clinic. Some people have booked for 15 days, something like this. But many of us booked as a 10 days. So what I have understood or information or updates that we can, like other people can stay either at the same venue where we will have the education week, the resort, the place we had the education week last time, and mostly we are going to have the same place again, the education week. It's a one possibility to stay and coming for the treatment to the Malad Ayush Shakti. The second possibility is to the venue, same venue, hotel bike in the Borivali, to stay there and coming to the Ayush Shakti for the treatment, and also spend the day with the Ayush Shakti doctors, clinic, and have a practice. When the place is available at Ayush Shakti Malad Clinic, after 10 days, some of us will leave. Then can move to this place, Ayush Shakti Malad, then the room is available. We are still searching if some more better, closer options we can find closer to Ayush Shakti, somewhere more next to the Ayush Shakti, somewhere. But right now we can say what we have the confirmation from this, and that's 2 venue that they will allow us. So this is the fact about the Panchkarma. But education week has no limitation. We can adjust any number.
I'm happy for that because I didn't register yet because I have no financial money to do it. But I'm hoping to go this year. So I'm putting the energy that the financial can be there to go. So I will be one of 14.
Will be great. Then think you're good to definitely we all send you a lot of positive vibration that you can manage.
Thank
and
you.
we will see us in person to all of. Yeah.
Yes, I really want.
Yes, it should happen. It should happen.
Dr. Hema.
Yes.
So, do you have a little bit of flexibility with this deadline, or a little bit, just a little bit to stretch a little bit?
Yes, we can. So what do you suggest? What we all will suggest? Because normally we had a deadline to give the confirmation to the venue on 9th of January, Monday. So we kept it as the 7th. It's then the Sunday and then Monday to give. But we can definitely talk to this people. The office people will talk to them, the venue, and then extend it. Some more, they will ask for some more extension 1 week. So maybe we can extend it for 1 week for everyone comfort. Is that okay?
Yes, it's much better. But what venue are you talking about? Which one?
Concerned people there, and then they will manage it 1 week extension to confirm, to give the confirmation. Yeah. Yeah, that will help to many of us to make a decision about either like an education week or Panchkarma or anything.
Yes, it's better to have the deadline postponed, definitely.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I heard you with some interruptions. So you're talking about the venue, which one of them? The venue, that resort where we have been last year for the teaching week. What was the name? AXA Resort?
The resort.
Ah, the resort. So you're talking about that one or the Bike del Hotel?
For education, we will have the resort.
Okay.
For Panchkarma, we will have both possibility, this and that. But the staying at the the resort for the Panchkarma purpose, we may need to pay separate cost because they charge special. If it is the bike or Ayush Shakti, is the same. No difference in the package, but afterwards like because Ayush Shakti is right now full. We have asked to the resort also if they allow us, if they give us the permission to do the treatment in the hotel resort itself. So everything there, but they didn't. They said, no, we don't want like this oil and everything to use. And so only the possibility if, because some people may not like to stay at the hotel by, they can prefer to stay at the hotel, that the resort, and then coming for the treatment at Ayush Shakti.
Okay, so you mean definitely the resort was better than the bike del hotel, as far as I remember from last year, but it will be more expensive.
Yeah.
And it will involve an extra cost for accommodation, and the person will have to travel to Ayush Shakti every day with a rickshaw, because this is how we were doing last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Panchkarma, sorry, education week cannot be changed now, the date normally, because it's so much difficult for all. Like right now, I saw there is one message in the chat to move it, but it is again, it is full. Ayush Shakti Malad is full because many of us booked it immediately on the first day of announcement. So it got full. So if we move it again, the things will remain the same. They will, the people who booked from the 10th, they will book from the 17th. So it won't, yeah, it's not from the other than the education group. The participants will remain the same. So yeah, we can extend. The first few days need to adjust in this way, staying either at the hotel bike and coming to the Ayush Shakti for the treatment and food. And yeah, later on, as soon as here we get the place, space, room available, we can move them depending on the availability. And that all, like from which date you can be accommodated at Ayush Shakti, that you can get information by email right from now, that from this date you get the place. From this date you can get the place at Ayush Shakti. So from this day to this date, you either at resort or bike and then here. So you know how many days you need to adjust.
I have a question, if you may. Is the 40 participants absolute minimum that needs to attend, or can it be lowered to, let's say, 30? Would that be possible to pull out the week?
Yeah, absolutely possible, even with the 20. But the package price that we have received from these people, that was considering that they will have like at least 40 people. We were expecting that we were thinking that this time we will have many of us. So if we will have less number, then maybe like we need to talk to them, and then they said like there can be a different price. They will increase the package price. But we are hoping and believe with the strong intention, with the positive thinking, will achieve this number. It's not so far now. We have crossed more than 60%. So yeah, not halfway, but more than halfway.
Yes. What about, I mean, in case the education week didn't succeed to be there this year, would it be then possible to have Panchakarma at Ayush Shakti at Malad?
Yeah.
Is it
So
still
first,
fully
again,
booked, or?
Yeah. Again, I tell you that I'm very much, not me only, but everyone here is very much confident that we will achieve. So education week will take place for sure, I think. Okay.
Okay,
So
because
there is
this
no
is
question about like a cancellation or this. We will let you. Yeah.
because
And
I haven't booked the flights yet, and I'm like, it's here online. I already almost paid for it, and then it's like just waiting for the final answer whether it will be or not.
yeah, I am also very much will be like it will be a great moment for me to announce that we achieved 14. Yes. Yeah, we will extend one more week, and I'm sure that the office people will be able to manage it to like yes, convince them to wait one more week and to give the confirmation. No, right now we are not thinking as of now to organize the treatment at the bike hotel, only staying facility. We are trying and okay. But depending again, like how many people of us, if really it's all too much management, organization, and so many things are involved. You all know who already been there. If you are only 5 or 7 people, then organize is such a difficult. But if many people, we can ask and like to provide like some facilities to do the treatment there. But otherwise, we have right now we are planning to like just stay there at the bike or other place and the treatment only at Ayush Shakti, because it needs a big setup, the treatment room. And we want to give you the quality, the result, not just okay, coming and going. No, a real experience. Remember, you can talk about, you can, yeah, okay, always read, yes, you have done something.
Dr. Dr. Hemang, sorry. For me, because I have been there last year, and I did remember the treatment, and I talked about it. My issue was that I wanted to see patients in the same time. I mean, I can't miss from my hospital for a long time. So for me, it is important to be able to continue the Panchakarma even during the education week, and to be able to come to Aishaki to see patients during the Panchakarma. And that was a big issue because the hours of the treatment were so confusing. And after the procedures, I could not shower for 4 hours, so I couldn't go anywhere. So I couldn't make, now I'm more experienced. I would know how to schedule the treatments to be able to travel afterwards to Ayushakti. So this is why I needed to know, I mean, where these 2 locations will be. So if I can travel in the same day between the 2 locations. So that was my only issue.
Yeah. So that is why when you are taking the treatment at Ayush Shakti, and the same time before and after, you can spend the time in the clinic with the doctors. So morning you can come, arrive this clinic, and in the evening you can go there. For food, at the bike hotel, we will organize the kitchen staff from Ayush Shakti every day. One of the staff will be there. So that won't be a problem like last year. That is it. And if you are already here at Ayush Shakti for the treatment or this study purpose, then you can have the food either way.
Okay, I understand it's difficult to organize all this. And from my point of view, anyway, during Panchakarma, the food is very few, so we don't eat much. That was not an issue for me. But traveling and not being able to put in place a schedule, a daily schedule to benefit the most of everything, that was my issue.
I have a question. How many people can be treated in Malad at the Ayush Shakti clinic at one time? I mean, how big is the capacity and how many patients can you do the panchakarma on? I know that you cannot have so many people staying there, but how many people can come from an external place to get treatment?
So we have 5 treatment tables, 5 into 7 treatment tables for female and 3 treatment tables for male. So together, like this many, people can taken at one time. So altogether 10, and we started from morning. Normally we start 9, but we can start early and we can finish it delay. And if we know that, like in this period, this many people are there from this education group, then we don't take, or we take less people from the local. So everything is dedicated to use for this, depending on the numbers. So normally every person needs like a 1.5 hour or maximum 2 hours, depending on the package chosen, 4 treatment or 6 treatments. So we can adjust so many numbers at Malad. That is for sure.
I mean, it would be if one could get treatment in Malad, then it would be better to have a hotel that is closer to Malad.
Yeah.
So that we don't have a 20-minute drive every time, because we can't be doing 20 minutes 3 times a day, back and forth. And so,
that is the nearest hotel, the hotel bike.
Yeah.
And there is still, we are searching for the another better option, but there is nothing. Otherwise, definitely we would love.
Yeah.
And I see in the chat a question that came several times. If somebody will find its own accommodation through Airbnb or to another website, is it possible to design a price just for the treatment without the accommodation? So the person takes care of its accommodation and it's paying just the treatment.
Yes,
supposedly.
absolutely. If it is possible to find going and coming, it's absolutely nothing to worry. Yeah. It's a less stress or work for Ayush Shakti, for sure.
Yeah, well, first time I didn't dare to do this because I had never been to India. I didn't know what the situation is, but this time maybe I could try to find the Airbnb. I don't know. It might be closer to Ayush Shakti than.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, for sure.
Okay, so in conclusion, we should write to education at Ayush Shakti what we would like to have. I mean, what is the interval of time, and if we want
Whatever your proposal is, like when from which date to which date you need whatever your requirement or question, just write down there, and then email is automatically forwarded to the concerned person, and they will answer you, whatever your.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Afsina.
Sorry for asking again. Just a question. Dr. Mira suggested that when I'm in India, I ask for some of the panchakarma treatments, but not all of it, like to have the oil massage, to have, I don't know the names, so I'm not going to say it. But is that, I mean, from listening to everybody, is that going to be at all possible?
Yeah,
to just have the 1 hour treatment, or is that going to be full?
Panchkarma, whatever the treatment that your doctor will recommend, accordingly, this the Ayush Shakti therapist will perform or do. That is the completely doctor's right and decision. So whatever the recommendation they will receive, the paper chart from the doctor, they will just follow. Everything is possible, not necessary that there
What
is
I
no
mean is,
standard protocol to follow. That is
yes, yes.
to decide by doctor.
I mean, will they have a space if they are fully booked?
Yeah, the space is the same, remains whether it is a panchkarma or the treatment. Problem is the room, the staying, accommodation for staying, not for the treatment purpose. The treatment tables, treatment rooms are available.
Uh-huh. So I can do it.
Sorry?
So I can have something done
If
whilst
you
I'm
have,
there.
no. If you have already booked and you got the space, you can get at Ayush Shakti. Otherwise, you stay at other place and you can come for the treatment. Treatment is possible for everyone. That is what I say. The room for the stay, to sleep, that is up right now talk, the main problem.
So if I've already paid for my course for the 1 week
Education
education,
is not a
I am
problem.
okay.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Education week room is not a problem. It's a different venue. Right now,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
talking about the Panchkarma, stay during Panchkarma. It's a
I
challenge.
see. Thank you. Thank you.
Education week is all sorted. That is not a problem. It's a
Thank you.
big hotel. It's not a problem.
Thank you.
Yes. I don't know
Marie?
if some questions are there in the
Yeah,
chat.
Marie,
So
you
many
still have
things are happening. If something we have missed from the chat, please ask the question because I'm unable to focus on both sides. So please don't think that I have missed or not answered your question. Something is written in the chat. Please read it and ask. Thank you. Yes, Mari.
Yes, please. The person who is coming with me is coming for Panchakarma. And I already said it are almost 14 days. I must give her the answer about the costs because we pay the ticket and I'm going to do the course. So what are the separate parts of the cost? You have your ticket, you have your lesson money, or how do you say it? And accommodation.
No.
If you come to Mumbai, you are the air.
Normally, you need a flight tickets.
Yeah.
You need like for education
Yeah.
program package and Panchkarma package.
Yeah.
And that includes everything. That includes when you book for the register for the education week, you have the stay, food there for that part and everything. And when you take the Panchkarma package, according to the Panchkarma, you will get the treatment, room and everything.
That's different, it's separate, that
Separate.
amount.
Yeah,
Okay.
two different amount. One
And that
for
is
Panchkarma.
that you see that to make a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
for her, it is the ticket and her Panchakarma. And how do I organize that? Because I don't know what to answer when she said, what is the amount of money that we need? She has her
Marie.
ticket. Yeah.
I just wanted to say to you, Rupa is amazing. We worked with Rupa and she helped us with all our accommodations, all the money. While we're in class, she may be able to get her into Panchakarma. Dr. Hemang probably won't be the best person to answer your questions because Rupa does that. And she, trust me, she will do everything she can to help you if you get in touch with her right away.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You want to be faithful yourself, but you don't want to disappoint the one who says, I'm going to help you. That's my fear.
It's okay, Rupa. If you work with Rupa, get in touch with her right away and she will help you.
Exactly.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Hemang.
Deborah. Thank you.
And just, I wanted to say one more thing to Marie. Basically, the education week, the hotel, which is called the resort, is in a totally different location than the Panchkarma at Malad. There is a, I think, 1 hour trip in between if you wanted to, commute. So if you're going there as with a friend, but then you will be in 2 different places. So if she already has a booking for Panchakarma, she will be in totally different place. So just so you know.
Yes, good. Thank you, Arti. Nice.
Yes, please, if I may. I have booked everything. I just not the flights because I'm waiting for the confirmation that Education Week will go on, Panchakarma will go on. Can you have any idea when it's really sure that everything is continuing so I can make my flights?
Yeah, I was hoping and expecting to begin today's call with that great news.
Yeah.
That we achieved 40 numbers. But unfortunately, I couldn't start like that way. But still, I'm very much positive, confident, and sure we will achieve. And as we discussed, it will be good for many of us to make a decision and to do the registration process. We will extend 1 week. There's a deadline, and then as soon as, even if before, right now I'm seeing so many notification talking to this like a notification pop-up, so many emails I'm receiving. So maybe many of us already doing this registration while talking already. And I'll be very happy to announce any moment immediately. I will not wait a single moment. As soon as we'll get the information updates that we achieved 40 numbers immediately, first person, right? Yeah, even in the midnight, 3 times I check my emails while sleeping. That what is the update, latest. So, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And together, we all pray and wish and intend that we will see us in person this time, because this time many of us are coming this like a visit first time. So we will have a possibility to see new heart, new people to whom we never met in person.
Yes, so it is.
So with strong intention, we believe that we always achieve.
So Dr. Hemang, I have a question. If nobody else is part there, I don't know who's next or whatever, but
you are next because you are the only one who has the hand raised.
Okay, so I'm going to be optimistic. Say we got 4, because I'm still not quite sure. I heard 60%, 40%. So if 40 people sign up, and because this has happened with other group events that I've gone to, they get a package deal. If those rooms are all filled up, then you're paying full price at the hotel if they have an opening. Because I don't know, I'm supposed to find out this week that I get a job, which is great. Woohoo! I'm not going to know about the if I can get that week off, because I'm going to tell that in my interview, blah, 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 all that good stuff. If I can get it off. But I would like to say yes now, because I will have the income to pay for it. I just won't be able, I won't be able to do it this week. But I'm saying, yes, I'm coming until I don't know. And if the 40 people or however many people you've got the rooms reserved for, if that's all filled up, will I be paying full price for the room accommodation or what?
So right now the price is as considering that we will have 40 people.
Okay. What if
Until
you have
40
more?
40 and 40 more, it's the same. There's nothing, no difference.
Okay, that's what I was wanting to know.
As of now, we have like till we started this call, what I had update from reservation that we have 7 people written email that they are inquiring, asking questions and that. So we don't consider those 7 people in this 24. We tell you the very confirmed registration only 24. But the
Gotcha.
7 people are already there. Who's I'm planning to come. I am just organizing, but we don't consider them yet until we don't receive the reservation, not registration. Then
All right, so if I register, because I'm not quite clear about, because I haven't even looked, because I just didn't know what my finances were going to be. But if I go and register for the class, I have to pay for it right away, right? Or can I just check something that says, yes, I'm coming?
no. You need to pay advance minimum 25%, then only registration.
Gotcha. All right, just asking because I haven't looked, but that's good to know. Thank you.
So because we have this couple of email communication is happening, conversation is there, like some another questions, so back and forth. So we are sure that if 24 plus 7, 31 already, so only we miss 9 more people, and I'm sure that it's a big group. And everyone is excited to see in person. And this time we know that we have planned different activities, and one of the main activity is Dr. Naram's favorite. Always he was organizing and doing especially yagna for the humanity, for the happiness, to remove the obstacle from the life. It's helping to personal life, family life, professional life. It's helping for the practice, clients. It's everywhere useful. And Dr. Naram was used to do this, organize this regularly for the peace. And it's not that we will see it doing, happening, but we will all participate in the process, in the doing. We all will do it. Everyone will do it, really. It's a completely different, amazing. Oh, I can't explain in the words the benefits from this yagna. Unbelievable. Can't limit it. Yeah, can't express in the word. Is one of the main thing. Otherwise, yes, pulse, we will have experience like a workshop, and when they practice, this time we'll have additional possibility of this Dr. Smita's clinic. And also we will have this time this herbs garden visit, well, where you all will teach to the group along with the doctor. And also we have the plan, the special lectures, how to reduce sufferings is also very exciting. It will be interesting. It will be completely different concept, something new. So the leech you may have seen in the documents is one of the great, very effective, powerful treatment. And things which we are going to talk, that is all possible for you all to perform or to do at home. For, I mean to say, to your practice, for your, we are going to talk those, we are explain such like a practice and panchkarma treatment and varma treatment. Not only observe, but we want you to use, apply practical experience. So maybe still, by the chance that many of us are stuck somewhere or thinking, going or not going, or some obstacles, please don't think, don't miss this opportunity. Real experience is a different than the watching recordings. So not to wait. And I'm sure that everyone who were there the last time, for sure, visiting again. So in that situation, we will have automatic 40 people, plus we have already 13 new registration. So it should be more than 40 actually. I'm expecting 40 like we had last time 40. So those 40 plus 13 new, or maybe few more new. So we can cross even more than 50 in that way. Yeah, Dr. Rene, Radu, then so many people like Niharika, so many, Yamari, Satu, so all this are coming this time. So, yes. And always feel free to ask if any questions comes, anything is there in the mind that stops or not able to decide. If we can help, if we can give you some more information. Panchkarma is, yes, there is some challenge to adjust everyone. Otherwise, everything is fine. And also, Panchkarma is possible with some adjustment for few days in the beginning of the 10 days or something to stay other place, and then we can move, shift here all the time. And still we are and looking for the, if we can find something near to, close to Ayush Shakti Malad Clinic. We will announce everything as soon as we will have something. We will not wait until our next class. Our next class will be 1st of January, but before that we will have all the information clear. Anything more? If I can, I believe that I have explained and answered most of the questions there in the mind. And as soon as we will have the clarity of the group, we will, yeah, good to form separate group afterwards, because so far still other people also can have some questions to know, answer to know for motivation. Yeah. Keeping finger crossed, we will end this session and then we pray together. Yes, strong intention. We will achieve together. And because we want to see us in person for sure in this year, not next year. Next year will be another time with new programs, with new excitement. So if no more questions, we can end this session. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
For your
Thank you.
patience.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to
Love
the
you.
presentation.
Thank you,
Nice.
Dr. Hemant. Thank you, Dr. Kamal.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Love you and I'm
much.
with you.
Love you with you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank
you so much.
Thank
See
you.
you soon.
Yes, for sure.
See you soon,
Sunny.
Afsana and
Yeah.
Anna.
Oh, I'm dying to see you, Andrea. Believe me.
I can't wait to see everyone.
Same here, Afsana. Love you.
It's not see, it's touch. It's not see because we see, it's touch.
Touch you. Yes, and hug you.
Alive, alive.
Yes, we'll hug you.
Please you at the
We
same
want to
time.
hug each other now this year for sure.
Thank you.
Good
night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night. Thank you very much.